What is Apple Pay? Apple Pay is a digital wallet. It allows you to store your credit or debit cards through your passbook. It eliminates the need to carry a big stack of cards in your wallet. It provides a more secure transaction than paying with your cards directly. It's also faster than a standard transaction, since you don't have to hand over cash or your card to the cashier or even write a check. You also won't have to sign a receipt like you would with a credit card, or wait for the cashier to figure out and hand back your change if you paid with cash. Just pull out your phone and pay. How does it work? After you've added your credit or debit cards to Passbook, it's time to head to a participating store. You register, you hold your phone, which has a near-field communication antenna, hook to the near-field communication reader with a wireless symbol. Place your finger on the Touch ID. The security code specific to your transaction, along with the device account number, are used to process the payment at the register. A vibration or beep will let you know the transaction was successful.
Who uses Apple Pay? Apple Pay is available to Apple iPhone 6, Apple iPhone 6 Plus, Apple iPad Air 2, Apple iPad Mini 3, and Apple Watch users. Apple Pay works with most major credit and debit cards in the United States. A user will need a credit card or a debit card from one of the participating financial institutions in order to enroll in Apple Pay. Currently, Apple Pay can only be used in the United States, but Apple plans to roll out Apple Pay internationally this fall. Within the first 72 hours that Apple Pay was released, the application already had 1 million users. Forbes contributor Paula Rosenbaum believes that Apple can expect to see more users in the coming months. According to an article she published in December 2014, most Apple users are using an Apple iPhone 5 or a later model. This means it could be the end of 2015 or early 2016 before we see the full impact of Apple Pay. According to a March 9th article on digitaltrend.com, Apple Pay can be used at 700,000 stores nationwide, including the Apple Store, Macy's, Panera Bread, and Nike, just to name a few. Apple Pay made a deal earlier in the year with USA Technologies, which will allow users to use Apple Pay in 200,000 self-service terminals, such as laundromats, vending machines, parking terminals, and other automated payment terminals. Apple Pay users do have some concerns surrounding this technology. Security is normally the biggest concern for users. Once the encrypted account number has been set up through the user's bank and through Apple, a user must use a passcode or Touch ID in order to use Apple Pay and make a purchase. In the event that a user loses their device, the device can be placed in lost mode. This means that a purchase cannot be made using Apple Pay, but the user will not need to go through the hassle of canceling all of their cards associated with the application. Although Apple Pay critics wonder how long it will be before hackers find a way to hack Apple Pay, we believe that this will be a constant challenge for Apple and all other electronic payment applications. A study by Phoenix Marketing International stated that at least 2/3 of Apple Pay users have experienced an issue at checkout. Some of these issues include the cashier not being familiar with the technology or having a transaction double counted. Another critic of Apple states that there is no use for the technology because using a regular credit card or debit card really isn't that inconvenient. It will be interesting to see if Apple Pay remains popular or if users will discontinue use of this application.
Apple Pay history. Payment systems have evolved from barter in the old ages to cash and checks, followed by the use of debit and credit cards, which were used later for online payments. Mobile payments were introduced a few years ago by online payment providers like PayPal and by companies new to the field like Google. Google has developed its own service. Google Wallet is the first publicly available NFC payment service in the United States. Prof, the managing director with Corner Store Advisors, considers Google Wallet as a 1.0 solution while Apple Pay is a 2.0. According to Campbell, in his Credit Union Management Journal, Google Wallet lacks few features. Ease of use. Users have to unlock their phones, turn on NFC, and then enter a PIN. Security. PIN code can be guessed via an exhaustive numerical search, and users' card details are stored on the cloud. Privacy. Google uses the transaction data to serve ads. Apple Pay in the future. Apple always changed the world with new innovations. Similar to the personal computer, music with iPod and iTunes, and mobile phone with iPhone, Apple Pay was made to change the mobile payment industry. Mark from Farmhouse Equity Research has imagined how Apple Pay could change the future. Mark described the massive fraud in the current payment system and the increased need for a more secure system, along with merchants paying high fees to the banks and card issuers. So what if Apple comes with its own card, like Apple Card or iCard? Apple will not need to partner with banks and card issuers, so the interest will be 2% less. Merchants and customers will save the card's fees. McLaughlin, MasterCard's Chief Emerging Payments Officer, predicts that the payment system in the future will have the best security and privacy, an age where there will be no more cash.